What's up? We're live. Waiting on everybody else to come in. Oh, cool. Don't want to see that ugly bug. Switch that around. Nah, it's not better. Hey, John Larson. Yeah. Stephen. What's up? Well, that's okay. We got time to look at my tanks. Dragon Lair. See this Crypt tank doing good. Rummy Nose doing good. Yeah. They're all doing good. Even these couple of Resboras. They're doing awesome. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you, John Larson. Hey, Julian. Yep, they're doing good. Let's see. Oof. What's up, Midnight Lobster? Taking a look at some tanks, waiting on them to cross over from the other side. These giant Daniels are getting big. And the golden barbs starting to stay out a little bit more. Thank you, Julian. Golden top minnows getting fat. Rico. All right, buddy. Appreciate you, Rico. Have a good one. Yeah. We got a new fish that recently caught. The Texas blue, right out of Louisiana. Thank you, Stephen. Texas blue and bullhead, bluegill. This big fat boy right here. All right. Black Reuben barbs coming right up. Chewy.
Yes, I am here.
Yes, sir, you are.
Yes.
Stephen. How we doing, Chewy?
Well, we're going to get into the fun part of this now.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is why I did this, is because I want to learn about the Bayou.
About the Bayou.
Yes,
This is what we're catching on the Bayou right now.
Where you're from, the whole idea of the ecosystem. As though you're the tugboat captain and you're looking after a guy in a wheelchair playing the guitar. As though
Right on. Well, tell you what, we're gonna let me get my flashlight and we're gonna go. I'll show you my turtle tank with all kind of needles that we just caught.
Do you want me to play the thing?
No. The next time I want to hear that song is footage done on native fish by Chubbs.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And
yeah, I
you
can make
guys use it as your theme for your YouTube.
We're good.
Is that cool?
Oh yeah, it could be.
So we could say that.
I'll find my flashlight.
Because I don't like streaming music from live feeds. Doesn't do it justice.
All right. I hear you.
How are you tonight, Chewy?
I am good, Kevin. I am thanking you for sending me the link,
No worries.
and thank you for what you do.
There's a Louisiana crawfish.
And Kevin, if you want to talk about Dr. Fish,
Yes.
I would be more than happy to jump on your stream and talk about Dr. Fish.
Awesome. Thank you, Chewy.
Yes.
There's a little green turtle and a crawfish. Lots of little turtles. Lots of crawfish. Hmm. But yeah, this you can see this Obama.
Beautiful.
Let's see. One thing not native is the frog bit. Kind of threw that in there. But over here, I got some native plants.
Jess Skipper is in here, right?
I haven't seen Skipper. It might be.
I'm making my breeder box. More breeder boxes.
There's another native plant. That's a broadleaf Sagittaria. Going real good. Of course, we got guppy grass too. We about a handful, and then we got a lot of other plants. Trying to see where this one is. I got
Night, Angus.
it's coming back. The big vine, like a vine. That's pretty good. Kind of dying back, but that coontail, that stuff grows thick. Or yeah. But I have a lot more plants coming when I get this pond done.
So, what kind of plants can you find around the Louisiana area, Chubbs, that are good for the aquarium?
Oh, we're back. Yeah, it broke up there back in there. I mean, Chewy.
What kind of plants are in like the Louisiana area that you can go out into the wild and go and pick your own plants?
Oh, we got a lot of different plants. We got some Louisias, some Plecos, a lot of Val. Yeah, let's see if I need some natives that I've grown. All right, here you go.
I would expect there to be some invasive plant species.
Oh yeah, like parrot's feather. Parrot feather. Well, it's invasive in some places, but it grows native here too.
Yeah.
This is a Bacopa morii. It's a native. I actually found this growing in a limestone gravel road in a business district, and I've been growing it in my tank for over a year.
Wow.
And then let's see, I got of course parrot feather. Found that native. The dwarf, a sag. You see right there.
Patrick. Bet you got duckweed, Chubbs.
Oh yeah, well not in this tank. Filament bars take care of it.
I think Patrick is just saying in general. I think you have.
Oh duckweed. Yeah. Oh yeah, we got plenty of duckweed. This is that broadleaf sage. You can see how it grows pretty good. That's native.
Hello, Catfish Terry.
And then we got the Cavoca green, the Louisiana. This Louisiana right here is actually the native Louisiana that's growing in the canals, nice and red. Yep, that was collected yesterday.
Now, all the fish in that tank are native fish.
All
right?
natives. Yeah, all native fish. Largemouth bass, bluegill, the bluegill cross, but we call it a May West or a red belly perch. Texas blue, cichlid. Yeah, it's all natives. Crawfish.
I think somebody was asking, where did you get the Texas blue?
I got the Texas blue from a local canal. It's a drainage canal in right here close to Lafitte, Louisiana.
Yeah, they're actually spreading into the Louisiana area.
Oh yeah. Salvinia is invasive. I have Salvinia here.
What about Anacris?
Anacris. I have Anacris here. We have coontail. We have parrot's feather. We have all that stuff. Yep.
Wow.
So, have you thought about doing any native fish breeding?
Yeah, I do, and I have been. And here I'm breeding golden top minnows. See them coming out right here.
Right.
That's a killifish. So it's close to
That's
the killifish family.
Fish, yes.
Yeah, and I have these killifish. I have breeding everywhere.
Well, they're live bearers, so they'll breed.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
I
I keep
want
them
some
with my guppies.
They're a banned species in Canada.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Patrick.
These are doing pretty good for me. I have quite a few growing up.
Patrick.
And another one I'm working on a breeding project with is sheephead pufffish. Sheephead minnow.
I love that fish. I love that fish.
Yeah. I have some down here. See.
Are there any specific endangered native fish that you know about, Jones?
There's not really too many that I know of that's on an endangered list as of right now. Anyway.
Okay, Chewy. So you said you would talk a little bit about who the heck don't you know? Is there anything you don't know? Because it sure does seem like you know everybody.
Well, there's a guitar player that I don't know that I like a lot.
These are some new sheephead pufffish that I got in for a breeding project that I caught in a local canal, full freshwater. And I have some more that's colored up that's come out of quarantine already. Gotta go see them next. But these are doing good. They're making it.
So you don't have a license, like a commercial license, to go out and catch and sell per se, but
no, but in the Louisiana state law, wildlife fishery law, is that you cannot sell wild caught or the F1, but you can sell the F2.
So you have to raise up the first F1s and then breed those to supply the hobby.
Right.
Okay.
You cannot sell I cannot sell the wild caught or the first generation.
Oh. Okay.
Oh. You can't sell the first generation.
No.
Not in that particular state.
No, not at all.
Interesting.
Not in this state.
It's the thing about knowing laws, knowing what you can do. Like, look at Maple Street Aquatics, okay, Brandon. He knows the rules of his state, and he emphasizes, just like I'm going to, know the laws of your country and know the laws of your province or state.
Yeah, I
And see,
know.
in Florida, you cannot legally take a bluegill with a cast net or any type of net. But in Louisiana, you can.
Oh, huh, interesting.
Yes,
And
it's knowing all of the various different laws and regulations. Like only one of our provinces in Canada is allowed to have bait fish. Under that, you can keep a certain amount of selected species that the Ontario government has put out. I don't live in Ontario. I live in the other 11 provinces or territories that cannot keep native fish.
you can see right here,
That kind of
there's
sucks.
a sheephead pufffish that's
I mean, I guess it makes sense.
been in here for a while.
Hey, George.
It's the laws. It's the biology laws that the biologists have put into Canada.
Oh, I get that.
Certain
That just kinda sucks.
species are banned. Like, don't get me on the soapbox about snakeheads because I could turn a whole show about how ignorant
You
Canada
can see
is to a lot of the species of
We
right
won't
here,
talk,
this is
we'll
a
talk about that one then, Chewy.
this is a F1
So-
male that I have of the sheephead pufffish, and this male killed his mate, but I do have a
Hey, George.
F2 right there. The little one right there is his
Hello,
offspring,
George. Hello, Football.
and so is that one. So that's why I have to start over now because I lost the female. But I do have some fry. It's just they definitely need a bigger tank than what I'm keeping them in, but they love to moan. They definitely hide in it and breed in it and eat from it and really
Can you
learn
breed
about
it?
a lot about this species. It's a very unique fish, I'll tell you that.
Is there not laws also about crossing of wildlife between state to state?
Yeah, you can't take them out of state.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's wild, these if they were wild caught, you can't take them across the border.
Right.
Now, if I show them that I have F2s that I'm mailing out or shipping across state lines, then yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I have to have the provenance, and everything I do is recorded. So, I mean,
And you would have to have a permit or a license to do so, right?
no, I just have to show them proof.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
have to have a license to, sell a little fish out. And now, if I do get a big, start selling a lot of fish, and yeah, they're gonna have questions.
Yeah.
But I don't sell that much anyway.
So
Okay.
there
I
is
just
certain
wanted to start breeding these fish to try to get a stock so I can get these fish out there and get people to know about them more. Here's something interesting. Right here, that's a freshwater clam that is locally collected.
Interesting.
Okay, so how do they know if they're F2s? I'm curious. Cubs.
I just have to show them the adults and the sub-adults that had the juveniles and so on and so forth. Just show them proof.
Yeah, you have to prove certain things.
Yeah. You can see that now a lot of places down here in Louisiana, you'll see shell gravel roads, and it'll be the shells of this particular clam. But these clams are, been around a long time, and their beaches have built up with just this type of clam. And the clams that are dead, they'll turn, solid white.
Right.
And you can see when they're alive, they have a lot of color.
Are they invasive then?
No, they're not invasive. They're native, but as far as I know, they're not on like any protected list or anything like that. But they are getting harder to find, alive.
Oh. I thought you said they had whole beaches of them. That's why I was wondering.
Yeah, they do have whole beaches full of their shells, but they're not
Oh,
alive.
got it. Okay. Hello, Jeffrey.
And I think it might be because of the saltwater intrusion. Going into the freshwater bayous a lot more. This clam needs a lot more fresh water than salt water.
Got it.
Oh, hey, Danny, sorry about that.
Here
So-
he is.
All right, Danny, we'll see you back
There
there.
you go.
Species.
Been back there for about 7 minutes.
Sorry about that, bud.
It's all good. No, but I wanted to just pipe in and say that you talking about the different fish collection laws and stuff. I looked up the laws here in Missouri, and apparently you can pretty much like collect and sell whatever you want here in Missouri for the most part.
Yeah.
And certain things require like a wildlife collector's permit, but that's like
Oh.
$5.
That's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Missouri's got actually really good collecting laws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, there's definitely nature preserves that have their own special rules where you're not allowed to like take anything. But in general, like I'm looking at it right now, it looks like anything that's native to Missouri, you can like take and sell it like right away if you wanted to.
There are some really cool darters in Missouri. That I do know.
Yep.
I know a lot of fishermen in that part of the world that tell me, oh, the small fish are darters and this and this and this. And I'm going, oh, man. A real,
One of the
nice.
One of the only stipulations, it says that crawfish are only allowed to be sold as food. You can't sell them like as an aquatic pet.
Yep, I can understand that.
Well, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Well, because you could also do the same with most, or at least
Or scientific research.
a lot of
Yeah.
fish.
Yeah, we definitely eat a lot of crawfish down here.
I can imagine.
Hmm.
We have to get it shipped if we want them.
We just go catch it out the canal.
Yeah, well, yes, I know that, Chubbs. That's why I said we have to get it shipped if we want them here.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to breed skunks, though.
What?
You're not allowed to breed skunks.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading. You're not allowed to breed skunks.
Pretty good.
It's one of the few exemptions on here. There's some crazy laws here. And there's a lot of laws, a lot of different stipulations. There's like pages and pages and pages, and I'm just looking at the exotic animals laws right now.
So you said
Are
you like
you
the yellow guppies. Some of
Are
these,
you a member?
like this one here, that come from a purple mosaic, a big ear purple mosaic with the yellow really is prominent.
Yellow, right?
How's that?
It's showing a lot of yellow.
Yeah.
Yellow bleeds in, man.
Yeah.
Danny, are you part of Massey then?
No.
This is one of the males.
I've been thinking about joining, but then again, like, membership fees and stuff like that. But I will be going to the ACA convention.
Cool.
Already got my tickets. I asked off for the whole weekend, so hopefully I'll be able to go all 3 days and check it all out. Wow, that's a lot of guppies.
It's not even a portion of them.
Yeah.
A mixed tank of various different types of genetics.
Yeah.
Nice
They
mud
build all the way
guppies.
from wild ball emus.
Hey, Vinny.
What's up,
Oh.
Vinny?
So, Chewy, I don't know if you saw him before, but what would you suggest I be looking for the metallic blacks that Jess has? if you were to selectively breed those?
Metallic blacks that Jess has.
I don't know. Have you seen them before?
Well, I kind of know the genes, but the thing is you're getting into the fact of how true the strain breeds.
And it doesn't. It doesn't.
You're getting
breed
into
true
the
as well.
strain history, which
I don't
like-
think it's. She said they're not breeding true as of right now.
it would take quite a few tanks to get it straight to go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They breed true in color, but the tail pattern is what doesn't breed true. The color
Wow, look
is
at that
solid
one.
black body and then black with the metallic dots on the tail. But the metallic dots on the tail are not going throughout the entire tail. They're either not there at all or there's only like a line around the edge of it. So
Right.
that,
It's
Gotcha.
genetics mixed up. It's not the
That
bottom,
one in the back.
the tail genetic.
Split tail.
Is that a split tail or is that like an injury?
His tail is split.
Yeah, it's just,
It formed that way naturally,
Okay, nice.
and that all came from purple mosaics.
and that is
This one swimming here is not a purple mosaic. This is a dragon.
that is known as a scissor tail genetic,
Yeah.
which is sort of like a lyre tail, but it's known as a split tail, and it's Asian.
Yeah.
It's an Asian genetic.
And the same thing with that bright one in the back. Those two bright ones in the back. That all came from the same clutch.
Yep. So again, you're dealing with such a wide variety of what is and what is not in that.
This yellow one did not come from
You're
the
gonna
same
get
clutch.
some nice,
But
strong guppies out of all these.
and we're mixing this big-eared blue dragon with them.
I like that fish. That is a beautiful fish.
Nice.
And we also had this
That's awesome.
double blue mosaic, I believe. So it comes off really black, but in the right light, it's really blue.
Right,
Really,
Ricky.
really dark blue.
Yeah. And like I said, the true midnight black Moscow is all black.
Oh, yeah.
The other black Moscows will kind of show either a bluish tinge to them or a purplish tinge to them at times,
Mhm.
depending upon the water quality.
Yeah.
Because certain strains of guppies show better in various different kinds of water parameters.
Yeah. They're all doing really cool. And, separated out some from the big tank to kind of grow out. They're all doing good too.
Like Doug Gray has got the solid black.
Solid black male. You want the
Yeah.
dragon layer?
Ah,
Yeah. I found him at a local store here. So he was locally bred.
He's probably a call.
Probably is.
Yeah.
But yeah. They get some royal blue Moscows that come through, and I think he might come from them.
Yeah.
And it's probably just too dark for him to breed them. But yeah, that's Scissortail. He's one of the showstoppers right now. Between that one and this one. Between that one and this one, he's pretty awesome.
yeah, man.
To make a comment, Florida
It's almost a spiral on the
Rescue's
tail.
comment. It's years. It's
Yeah.
years and years and years of study. Like devoted guppy people, it's a devoted kind of
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, my mixed tank is pretty cool. I mean, We got some pretty phenomenal fish in here.
Chewy, I could listen to you talk all day.
This one here.
That's a little creepy, Kevin.
Yeah.
I love his info. And hey, Skipper.
This one here is pretty cool.
Comes from being years in the hobby, getting magazines, getting books, all of that kind of stuff, and working in the industry.
Yeah.
It's like if we got fish in the wholesaler that I worked at, I'd be over there looking at a book trying to figure out what fish it is and all of those kind of other things. It's what makes you interested in fish. Now, I got kind of interested in fish I couldn't keep due to water parameters. Wild fish are very tough to live in very high TDS water, and it's like Rift Valley. You're not going to take something out of the rainforest and put it in the Rift Valley. So unless you know a lot about water chemistry and all of that sort of stuff, which was the subject on one of Jess's streams, you're advised, keep fish that do well in your water and breed those.
Oh, come on, cat, get out of the way. They want to see a fish, not you. Thank you, fish topic. Yep. Green tiger barbs and Reuben barbs.
Those are beautiful barbs.
Yeah.
Really nice green, and it comes through on the camera well, even though I'm sure it's even better in person.
Yeah, not really. I mean, it's actually coming through really good on the camera.
Yeah.
When they hit certain angles, like that black blue just goes like green.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm about to move these in the 75 gallon with the Planet 3.0, and they should really get a lot better color. So this is only a little 10 gallon, and I know they're crowded. It's got 10 barbs in here. But they're doing good for right now. I just got to get a couple things up and running to move some shrimp out because I don't want them to pick them all off before I get to select them.
How often do you change your water chumps?
I do about a 30% on this tank every week right now because it's kind of crowded. Oh, I should have did it today, but I was doing other things. It'll be done tomorrow.
So are you trying to spawn them?
Not right now. Just kind of quarantining them and Then I'm gonna get them to grow out, and eventually, every fish that I got, I plan on breeding. But it's just to get the room to do so.
Isn't that always the difficult part?
Oh yeah.
Eventually, I plan to have a tank that's a rainbow assortment of different tiger barbs. So I'll have, the standard ones, the green ones, the albino ones, and then I'll get all the different colors of the glow ones. And then just have a massive school of tiger barbs.
Yeah.
What is your general water parameters?
My water parameters usually pH stays around 7.6 to 7.8. And then TDS out the faucet is about 160, 170.
Okay.
And
activity. What are the high minerals?
You got softer water.
What's that? What's that, Joey?
Do you know what the mineral compounds of your water are? Like how much phosphorus, how much?
Very little phosphorus, mostly calcium.
Okay. Do you have an RO unit?
I do run an RO unit for some tanks. I got an RO. Just a 3-stage RO unit. But
Because there's certain species of fish that I just love, but you got to know the right kind of parameters to breed them and to keep them.
thank you for the topic. Yeah,
Okay.
with the rainbows, I keep their TDS around between 100 and 150. If it gets to 150, I'll drop it back down. But they're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
RO or RODI unit?
I use RO, not RODI. And the most recent thing I added to this tank is not even in the tank. One of those hanging air plants.
Oh,
Supposed to look
nice.
like an octopus. Whatever. Yeah, it's doing real good. Liking the light. What the
You
hangs
got
out.
it upside down,
Yep.
but it works.
That's how they sell them. That's how they sell them. It's actually attached to the exoskeleton of a sea urchin.
Yeah, that's cool. So it's supposed to look like a little like
Yeah, it's supposed to look
jellyfish,
kind of like a
octopus,
jellyfish
squid
or
thingy.
whatever. Yeah, it's pretty cool
Yeah.
What?
I thought about growing some plants upside down before. Like,
It works with some plants and some plants it don't.
yeah.
So
You just
as
have to put the light on the floor, and so it continues to grow down.
a collector, now this is the angle that some people don't realize. Like natural animals that could cause you issues in collecting. Are there many venomous snakes, reptiles that could do damage, insects, that kind of things?
Oh,
That
yeah.
that
Yeah, we got lots of stuff like that down here. Copperhead, water moccasins,
lovely.
We got those two up here, even.
rattlesnakes.
Yes, I know you do.
And, you got to watch for all of them at the water. And then as
Yeah.
far as reptiles go, we don't have to worry about them too much, especially where I'm collecting, because for one, the water is real shallow, real narrow, and there's not much room for an alligator to hide. I'll see him before he sees me.
Yes. Okay.
And he don't want that, because then he'll be lunch.
Well, alligators are not quite like saltwater crocodiles by any
No, but yeah. But
No,
you get to around 11 to 12 or 14-foot alligator, and they start to act like a crocodile.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yep.
Now, the reason why I said that is a lot of people do not realize the dangers in certain waterways where people do go collecting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, would you like to run into a Thailand spitting cobra?
Yeah,
No,
right?
no, I wouldn't like to run into nothing like that.
That'd
Yeah.
be interesting.
I mean, I have
Could be
not
fun.
been able to take a fishing trip without seeing some type of water snake. So
Oh yeah, we see them all the time. We see water snakes all the time.
I'm
And
definitely aware of what's going on.
Oh yeah, and we
They're
get snapping
very
turtles and stuff, and
BC. The snakes that we have in BC are two-legged. They
yeah,
don't slither like we have a typical garter snake. We don't have anything venomous at all in BC.
I got garter snakes that hang out in my yard. They really love my pond.
I have garter snakes that hang out in my pond too.
And Chewy, I can get you water snakes, cottonmouths, copperheads, and some pepper rattlers if you want.
You can keep them. I'll keep my bears. I'll keep grizzly.
You can keep the bears.
I would much rather deal with that than something that can make me very sick. I was bitten by a water moccasin when I was a kid. And no thank you. Snakes drive me batty.
Yeah, at least most of the time when the bears are in your backyard, you just go, hey bear, get out of my yard, and it'll leave.
There's a grizzly bear that hangs out in a town close to me that just eats fruit and walks around our town on occasion.
Another native of these killifish.
no CO2 chubs? I think you said
No
no.
CO2 anywhere.
Black bears, on the other hand, as long as you don't feed them, they pretty much ignore you.
Well,
Only if you're between the mother and her cubs will generally a black bear won't do anything.
yeah.
They're there for garbage or like people leaving out garbage is like an issue in our town.
Right on this topic.
Yeah,
Because
we
they
got
draw big
raccoons down
bears.
here, not bears for that.
We get black bears down here, not exactly where I'm at, but more towards the middle of the state.
Yeah.
And I've come up to on a black bear in a dumpster about 3:00 in the morning, trying to throw away some garbage off of a tugboat. And when he popped his head up and his nose was as big as my fist, you ain't never seen a big white man run as fast as I did that night. I guarantee you.
Well,
And, you're not supposed to run, but he scared me, and I think I scared him just about the same from the smell coming from my shorts.
the most dangerous known animal in our province, I would say, is the wolverine.
Yeah, those are vicious.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wolverines take down
We
grizzly
also have
bears,
got-
man.
We've also got Bigfoot or Sasquatches, and who knows about them?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we got
I
those
mean, you
over
guys
here
are
too.
way up there. You got
Uh,
Sasquatch and Yeti up there.
No,
We
the
call them the
Yetis
Rougarou.
Ours are,
That's what the Sasquatch is called down here, the Rougarou.
yeah, or mud apes, if I'm not correct. Like cryptozoology is an interesting fact because there's some areas of the Congo that the natives won't go into because they're afraid of a prehistoric dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
A small brontosaurus type dinosaur is supposed to be living in that area. It's a cryptozoology thing.
Yeah, it's all that movie. What was that movie with the kid with the pet dinosaur? I can't remember.
And then you
Dang
got
it.
the New Jersey Devil
Jurassic
in
Park.
the New Jersey area. And I'm not talking about the hockey team. I'm talking about a cryptid animal that, then you got the chupacabra.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yep.
that earlier. The chupacabra.
The chupacabra is more like a Texas, Mexico thing.
The demon Batman thing that eats your sheep.
Yeah,
No.
this topic. You was talking about the Taiwan lily. These fish actually never touch the Taiwan lily or the Afondageton. Every other plant they've chewed on, except for the crypts. But they really like Rotala.
I really
So
like
does the-
that tank. It's one of my
Yeah,
favorite tanks on YouTube. The
Yeah.
bars
mine too,
are
man.
beautiful.
Absolutely.
But with the Taiwan lily, does that one hit the surface too?
Oh yeah, it will. It'll even grow on the surface.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like any other like lily or whatever. It's just
Mhm.
not red, it's green.
Yeah, and it's not a bulb plant. It's a root plant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not a bulb plant. Let's see.
It
I
doesn't
over
like
here.
eventually form a bulb. It
No,
hmm.
I've gotten it, and I got this from Lucas Brett's. But you can see it just rooted.
Huh.
And this one's floating.
Okay.
What is it?
Taiwan lily, hydrocardal Taiwan lily.
Oh, so it's a hydrocotyle plant. Okay.
Yeah. Hydrophila, I'm sorry. Hydrophila Taiwan lily.
Oh, hydrophila.
That could be passionate fruit. I'm not too sure though. I know Alberta has got the prairie rattlesnake, but I have not ever run across a snake in the Kootenay area of BC, except for garter snakes.
Oh, we get canebrake rattles. We get pygmy rattlesnakes. We get coral snakes. We get all kind of stuff down here.
I know you do.
We got a bunch of them.
Coral snakes are dangerous, man.
Yeah, especially when you have milk snakes. Also, we actually have some down here. I don't know if they were released down here. They're not supposed to be down here, but we have milk snakes also.
Somebody
once told me that.
Now,
Sorry.
I know the part of the reason why livestock cannot be through our mail system. And you want to hear why?
Sure.
Somebody shipped a coral snake to Canada through the mail system.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine the person that had to open up that box?
Uh-huh.
Could you imagine all of the people on shift freaking out? And me getting called in to make a phone call to the Calgary Zoo to come and pick it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
lots of things go through the Postal Service. We shut down a plant for anthrax. Okay, so it's one of the dangers of shipping certain animals. Like, I don't mind getting guppies through the mail or through like I ordered my first guppies through the mail when they were allowing it, okay, back in the 70s. But now they won't ship any fish at all. It's all got to be courier.
Oh.
Right.
Wow.
Because people don't realize the amount. Okay, now, I hate to be condescending about postal employees, but by the time the customs or some things get through, it's already damaged some mail when it's not packaged properly.
Right.
Yeah.
When it's being booted around by possibly the United Postal Service.
Mm-hmm.
Florida Fish Rescue.
And so that's how come certain things cannot be sent through our system that way. It's not prepared for it.
Hey, Roundhouse.
Think of all if somebody damages that box. We saw it
people are doing good.
Right? So they just stopped it even internally in Canada, let alone importing it from another country.
Yeah.
So to ship to Canada, you have to either use FedEx or USPS or go down to the States and pick them up and bring them across.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but, you know, try bringing animals and stuff across the border. I'm sure that's fun.
There's a lot of paperwork involved.
Oh, sure.
Like working at the wholesaler, I got to learn that side of it and all of the customs rigmarole and all of that sort of stuff. Even having a broker.
I said that, sorry.
You had to see some of that paperwork, right? And that was part of what I would be taught, right? Oh, here's how you do this. Oh, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, Rockford, it's Eco Complete on top with fluorite sand and red fluorite underneath on top of sand.
Nice.
What sand you say had on? Was it the blasting sand?
It's actually fluorite sand, PChem fluorite sand.
Oh, all right. Oh, yeah.
Planet substrate.
Ah.
I just pretty much put that in there because the whole deal on these it was tissue cultures. They didn't come very rooted, so I put that in there to kind of hold them down. Because
How
small
long has
particles
that
easier to hold.
been up?
Oh yeah.
Oh, interesting.
What type of crypts are those right there? I'm
Which
sorry.
one?
I'm
These right
still
here?
looking at my TV, but the ones that you're holding down, those little the little
Oh, right
ones
here?
that you were looking at before.
It's actually not a crypt. It's actually kind of like it's an epiphyte coming out of what is it? Shit.
Is that a type of long
Borneo.
leafed
It's coming out of Borneo. It's
Anubias?
called a Homo collapsus or something like that. But it's a pretty awesome plant. It's more a little bit newer to the hobby. But yeah, it's real awesome. I got it off of Bruce Plants. I just thought it looked kind of like a crypt, and since it was going to be an all crypt tank, it'd be a standout plant. Because everything else is crypts in here.
I don't get out much into this area of nature a lot due to I
Yeah.
have the health problems that I have. But when I was younger, I did go out looking for fossils in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a lot of sea fossils like trilobites and that type of thing in this area.
Right.
Paleontology, right?
Yeah, if you want to know the real name of this plant, if you go back and look at my list of when I was planting this tank, I have the name listed in the description. I have all the names of every plant, every crypt.
Okay.
You can see it there.
Man, I'm excited to see what this tank looks like, a year from now.
Yeah.
When all those crypts are just
Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
filling up the entire thing.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be nice.
It's really
it looks nice.
What's up?
plants certainly do help in the setting up of an aquarium.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just setting up.
Well, the thing is when you can't keep plants with certain species of fish because they're known to tear them apart, you go through the algae side.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, that's true.
you see with my tanks, I keep the plants and the fish are secondary.
Yes.
If it, but just like in that bass tank, I knew that the perch and the bass were not going to allow the plants to be rooted,
Mhm.
so I didn't really try to. But with that filament barbs, they was like on, there was 2 or 3
Skittles.
plantlets away from being kicked out of this tank, and they just one day they just stopped picking at everything, and I think it's yeah, definitely Terry. He said he couldn't believe that I had a planted tank with barbs in it. And it's got its place, because most of the time filament barbs are tearing the crap out of plants,
Mhm.
but I feed these fish good, as you can see, they're nice and fat, and it keeps them from picking the plants.
Well, if they don't have to constantly keep looking for food, they'll leave stuff alone.
Oh yeah.
What are you feeding them? Are you
A
feeding them
mixture of
plant matter?
I'm feeding them a mixture of blue ball bug bites and obviously green beans, spinach.
That's got part to do with it.
Yep. And they get
Substituting
bloodworms. They get all kind of stuff.
So you're substituting them with spinach or other vegetables,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that leaving the plants alone.
And it seems to be working.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Why eat the the gross plants when they're getting the good ones.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
There's a yo-yo. There's 3 loaches in here. There's a big dojo loach in the back right there, going up and down. There's a yo-yo loach, and then there's one single coolie loach. That was a rescue. And I hardly ever see him. I might see him a glimpse of him once every 2 weeks or so. But there's also rainwater killifish in here that's natively collected, and bluefin killifish in here that are natively collected.
So now here's a different angle. Jess, have you ever gone out hunting for natives?
No, not
Yeah.
here. Not this kind of water. Hell no.
She's like, we got gators out here.
That's right. We got gators and we got snakes. No, sir, not me.
Oh, okay.
That's not the biggest problem I have with collecting natives is actually the water spiders.
Yeah, that too. Them bitches jump. Excuse my language.
We get water spiders that are like this big, like 3 or 4 inches around,
Yeah, the
They're
wolf
huge.
spiders that skim on the water.
Yeah.
Well, these are actually spiders that live under the water.
Oh, yeah, there's
Ooh.
those too, yeah.
So you go to scoop in some bushes where you don't see a spider, then you pull your net up and you got 3 or 4 giant spiders in your net.
Yep.
And you gotta
Well,
let them out before you can grab the fish.
Or you go crawfishing. Instead of
I've had
crawfish,
them
you
crawl
love
straight slap up my arm.
Yeah.
Or with my neck.
Will they hurt you though?
What?
They'll give you a nice little tickle on your neck.
So, like they won't bite
they're
you
not
and hurt
venomous
you.
per se, but I mean, kind of like a tarantula that's normally held.
Their
If you're allergic
toxin
to
level
bees.
is like the same as a honeybee.
Well, more like 3 times the strength of a bumblebee.
Listen,
But-
that ain't nothing until you get a brown recluse on you.
Yeah. Let's see, a brown recluse is like a necrotic toxin that actually is like a flesh-eating bacteria.
Yeah, once
Yeah,
it bites you, it starts eating you from that bite, and it just keeps going.
Wow, that is actually very, very interesting. BC
Yeah.
got a boa.
Oh yeah.
We have got a boa snake.
Oh, like a native boa?
A native boa in BC.
Wow,
Oh.
that's cool.
That's crazy. Never heard of that.
The BC boa.
Hey, Pam.
And then you got what Fish Tropic said. Yeah, we got the black widows too.
Yeah,
Yep.
we
We got black widows
Black
and
widows.
brown recluses and
They have their toxin is like almost like cardiac arrest. It causes your heart to beat super fast and to start pumping their toxin throughout your body, which is a neurotoxin, and so it's going to take several hours. But yeah, if you don't get any treatment after like a day or two, like you can die from it.
Yep. That's why any place I move to, if they don't have daddy long leg spiders in that house, I go get some and put them in there.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Because daddy long leg spiders will kill any black widow or brown recluse.
Yeah.
You never have to worry about them.
It kills any spider and takes over, which
Yep.
And I've found that even just having them there drives the other spiders away.
Exactly.
Like right there, you can see a rainwater killifish.
Hello,
Yeah.
Pam.
they're like, they say, oh, they're the most venomous not spider. I said, yeah, but
The
not
venom
us.
of the spider is the most venomous, but they're not as venomous as, they're not as likely to bite a human because their fangs are so small.
Yes,
Yeah.
they can't puncture our skin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Well,
black
yeah,
widow spider is the most venomous spider in the world, but it's
No,
still nothing compared to a snake.
Well, yeah. No, the venom of the daddy long legs is pretty bad, but they can't bite us, so it's no big deal. But they definitely keep away other
Right.
venomous spiders.
But see, when it comes to daddy long legs, people are often very confused as to what a daddy long leg actually is. Like there is a spider that is a daddy long leg, but it's a very, very like thin bodied, small, like white colored spider that has
Yeah.
long legs. Whereas what
Yeah,
most people
it's a
see with
lookalike.
that little like brown pea-sized spider looking thing that has a really long black legs, that's actually not a spider at all, and it has no venom whatsoever.
Then what is it?
It's it's more closely related to oh geez, now you're gonna make me have to look it up so I can make sure I get this information right, because I don't want to say the wrong thing here, but they're actually they're just confused as a daddy long leg spider. But yeah, now I'm gonna look it up.
Yep. This guy gets bigger. What's up, John?
Hi, John.
Hey, Pam.
We have black widows here, and as long as you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone.
Okay, so the granddaddy longleg is called the harvester spider. The myth of the granddaddy longleg. Nice. So the origins of the myth of them being the most venomous spider is unknown. But they're not spiders and they aren't poisonous. They're known as harvestmen and are often mistaken for spiders because of their spider-like appearance and movements. And while they do have spidery characteristics, they are not spiders. They're classified as arachnids like spiders because of their 8 legs and movements similar to the spider. But other arachnids that aren't spiders include ticks, mites, and scorpions. So despite their appearance, they are actually more like scorpions than spiders. Spiders have 8 eyes, while granddaddy longlegs only have 2. And they only have 1 body segment versus the 2 body segments that a normal spider has.
So, are there any darters down in that area or shiners?
They do have a couple darters. They got a Bayou darter, and they have a coastal darter, I believe. I have not seen them in a while, but I've seen them in the book. But they're supposed to be down here.
But the standard actual daddy longleg spider is the cellar spider.
We don't get too many scorpions down here. We get too marshy. This, I guess, is a Louisiana scorpion. But this one don't even have a pincher. They slowly pull them apart. Here's the graveyard.
Hey, I'm going to drop down. I got to get up work in the morning, so I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, Skipper.
Later,
Skipper. Nice seeing you.
Later.
So,
You're surprised nobody has scorpion? I've thought about getting a scorpion a couple times, Fish Tropic.
Are there any shiners or darters in Louisiana?
Oh yeah, we have plenty of shiners.
Oh, okay. What species of shiners?
No, there's a silver shiner, the golden shiner. I think there's one called a Bayou shiner too. Don't quote me on that one though. Let's see. Let's double check that. Got the book right here.
Later, Jess.
What's up, Jess? All right. See you later. Great stream.
I didn't realize I was back on screen.
Yes, it's good to know the specific species that are available in certain areas, and not a lot of people actually really think about the North American Native Fish Association.
Yeah.
And those are the people that actually do have contacts to getting some of these types of fish when you cannot find them through a commercial outlet.
Right.
It's just like every other type of club, like
And we have a striped shiner down here. We have the cypress minnow.
yeah, I've heard of that fish.
Then we have let's see. We got the red fin shiner. And I've caught in some shiners, but I haven't really caught in too many lately.
Are
There's
there
the cherry fin
commercial,
shiner. Was that?
are there commercial outlets for some of these shiners for people to look into?
You can get lucky and buy some minnows at a bait shop sometimes. They got people that go out and actually fish them, but you don't really get not for fish tanks.
Oh,
They don't
okay.
really sell hardly any local fish here anywhere.
So the commercial outlet is not available in your
Very,
state.
very, very rare. Very hard to get.
Okay. So again,
Another,
you'd have to go through sort of like a club to obtain these.
well, and there's not very many clubs either. We have the
I'm talking about
South Louisiana Cichlid Association, I think, but they're more mid-state, and it's hard to get. They
I,
mostly go through Facebook.
we're talking about the North American Native Fish Association, where they will have members in various different states,
Yeah,
like the hobby type of person that is dedicated to that type of thing. Like your clubs are your best resources for fish.
yeah. We don't have a lot of clubs.
Yeah. Like Danny lives in St. Louis, where there are a lot of well known guys like Mike Helwig and those type of people from the Missouri area. So it all depends on what state you're in as to your local clubs. But your
Yeah,
national clubs look after the nation, sort of like the American Cichlid Association,
yeah.
the American Killifish Association. You want rare killies? Check out the American Killifish Association. Go to
Okay.
their convention. They're the oldest club in America,
Yeah.
oldest national club in America. Is
Really?
the American Killifish Association.
I want some killies, but it's hard to find places that sell them.
Join the American
They're
Killifish
actually
That's
Association.
what he just said.
I need to.
That's who you would contact.
Yeah.
Like Tony Terciari, who was the judge for this photo contest that King and Queen Cichlids did their thing on. He is a well-known photographer of the Killifish books dating back long before I was born.
Yep. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Crystal, welcome to the
Hey,
stream.
crystals, pets, and plants. Man, chat's getting all into the invertebrates and stuff, and it's like, I want to talk about all this stuff.
Right.
And if you want to talk, now I know Danny loves this. Okay, cuttlefish. Okay, cuttlefish.
Ooh.
When you have got
Awesome.
somebody that you know that is a marine biologist that is into mollusks, he's going to know a little bit about the areas of mollusks that he does not study.
Yeah.
But he's
Good
going
night,
to
Dragon Lair.
know a
Night,
lot
Dragon
more
Lair.
than the
Have a
average
good one.
hobbyist. Like, think of it this way. Have you ever heard of a nautilus?
Uh-huh.
Nautilus? Yes.
A
Okay.
nautilus, yeah.
Okay, do you know who bred those?
Who bred them?
Somebody bred a nautilus?
Yes,
Oh yeah, it was done multiple
Yes.
years, a long time ago,
it was.
years and years ago.
Yes,
How big of a tank?
Dr. Bruce Carlson out of the University of Hawaii. Okay. I just did a video called Nautilus, and I used his video because I know of it. Okay. Okay. That's the type of person that you go to the specific field of study. Dr. Carlson, could I know more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The guy who produced my radio show, like in the green room, like we have a backstage for YouTube, but we also have that in internet and regular radio. Okay, so the guy who produced my radio show was a marine biologist, manager of a rock band. His son plays for From Ashes to New, which is like on the same label as what's her name, Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh, yeah, I
Wow,
like that
Five
band.
Finger, nice.
And,
I'm not a huge fan of their original stuff, but I really love their covers. They do great covers.
okay, so his son's a recording artist. He runs publicity for rock bands and does not do, like, he's not a practicing marine biologist, but he's taken it in, guess what? Snails.
Oh,
That's his major field of study. Is snails.
nice.
But I can get him to talk about octopus. I can get him to talk about cuttlefish because it's part of the study of studying mollusks. He has to know the basic levels in each of those to hold a degree in ecology. And then that's where you break off and study what you want to study. His area of study was snails. And there's so many snails out there. Where do you start?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, you're right, Roundhouse. You know, so many things have been done in the past and people aren't doing it so much now. Or at least it's not. I mean, I think there are people doing it now, but like, cause I'm definitely gonna try breeding cuttlefish
Cuttlefish are
in the
pretty
future.
awesome. I was.
Be prepared for cold water to some degree,
Yeah.
depending upon the cuttlefish. Be prepared to understand the cuttlefish that you want to have.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a specific study all on its own. But
Oh yeah.
cuttlefish, you know, like you think of cuttlefish, well, cuttlebone comes into like the bird world.
Oh yeah, I have a cuttlebone for my parakeet.
Exactly.
And for turtles and for, fish and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That cappuccino
I
snail
actually-
looks awesome.
I actually
know.
like the cuttlefish that you chose, Danny. But I don't know very much about it. John Brandenberry would.
Yeah, I don't really know, as much as I wish I did about cuttlefish. I just think that they're so cool and I really want to have them.
Yep. I was going to get cuttlefish when I had a saltwater tank, but Memorial eel would have killed them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They need
Manny,
like a
did you see
species only tank.
Did you see Patrick's comment?
I've been check out the song "The Airplane Flies High," but I agree with you on a lot of different things there, Patrick Hardy, but I'm not a Smashing Pumpkins fan. I'll give it a
Good
listen,
question.
but just not really into Smashing Pumpkins.
They used to be pretty good.
Why do they call it a cuttlefish when it's not a fish and it's a mollusk? Why do they call it an octopus? Why do they call it a tiger?
Well, that's where common names come in. Why do we call some things what they are when they're not actually a fish?
Yeah. I mean, the scientific name that I have no idea what it is because I've never even looked it up before. You know, it's doesn't like it's not like cuttlefish or whatever. Like, I think, man, I don't know, because it's cuttle with a T, not like a D or whatever. So it's not like, somebody was like, "Ooh, look, it's a little cute cuddly fish. Let's call it a cuttlefish." Like, it wasn't like it was that. So I don't know.
Well,
Now you got me wanting to Google more stuff.
here's one for you too, Danny, where it involves a common name of king tiger pleco, but there's two L series numbers that have got the same common name.
Yeah.
L66 and L333, same common name. What is it?
I made Patrick mad. He's never gonna listen to me again. No, but you're right. Like Patrick, like I love country style living. Like I live in the suburbs, but I make it as country as I can.
When it comes to species identification, the best person to talk to would be John Brandenberry as to that specific question.
Okay, again,
especially with identification. Like there's certain things about identifications even involved in the CARES program, because some of those Alona cara species, like peacocks, have been hybridized, and it could screw up some of the species that are on both the CARES list as well as the IUC list.
That's right. I agree with you there, Rockford.
Right. Yeah. Meet Red Foreman. But it's true though. Like some of these common names are just really screwed up. But Patrick Hardy like brought up another like excellent point that it's just like it's hot dogs. They're not necessarily hot, and they're not dogs for sure.
Yeah, but they had to call that meat something, and that's the best thing they could think of to sell it.
Well, let's put it as,
because I mean, calling it waste product that was stuffed into another waste product meat doesn't sound very appetizing.
Calling trimmings off a slaughterhouse floor would be difficult to sell.
Because of the fact of wiener dogs, like Oscar Mayer wieners.
Right.
So hence wiener dog, hot dog.
Yep.
Right, because it came from Vienna. Vienna sausages, the Wieners, Vienna, like that's where sausages came from. But then in America, there's like, well, we can't call it a sausage because it's not like actually a sausage. So let's just call it a dog.
Like I met John through the music industry. I did not meet him through Fish. And when I found a
Roundhouse
biologist, I went, "Gee, do you want to host my show on this?" Because we would interview a lot of his bands on the radio channel or network that was with, right? So it fit him very, very well.
All right.
Because it, just in case,
what you doing over there, Kevin?
Canceled.
Oh, my chair keeps on
or something like that.
And it's annoying me.
I could always rely on him for a topic because he was a tropical fish hobbyist but had a degree in marine biologist with snails.
Right.
Okay? His area around fish, he was kind of clueless when it came to like specific things in fish. But nobody better to talk octopus, squid. Nobody could beat it, right?
Yeah.
Up Chalupa. Thank you for joining.
But man, I had octopus and stuff as a terrible example before. I should have said why is it called a jellyfish when it's not jelly nor a fish? It doesn't even have a brain. All it
Nope.
has is its central nervous system.
Some don't even
Now,
have
there
that.
is an increase of jellyfish in our planet, which has got to do with the amount of carbon that's in
Well-
our system. And
What about the spiny sea stars in Australia?
Yeah.
They
with,
double their weight or their mass in corals.
with jellyfish reacting to so much carbon in our air, they're multiplying. So I wouldn't want to be around boxed jellyfish.
Oh man. No.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the St. Louis Aquarium, they had these. I don't think it's a box jellyfish. It's some other. It was like teeny tiny, little
Oh, yeah.
bitty jellyfish that was like all you could see was just this slight electric spark moving through its body. Otherwise, you couldn't see it at all.
Part of the saltwater hobby, okay, got into like the miniature jellyfish about 8 to 10 years ago. A lot of people were keeping jellyfish.
Yeah.
So, do you guys read any magazines?
I used to get the Tropical Fish magazine, and I get a plant prescription magazine.
I
I
give
used to really
both.
like the National Geographic magazine.
National
I-
Geographic was pretty cool.
I still get both.
I get this
Don't
one
send Danny down the rabbit hole.
every year.
What
Coral
rabbit hole are we going down now? What are you talking about? Oh, blackberries, bear. Oh, just the rabbit hole of why is everything called what it is.
Yeah. But I don't do too much reading the magazines, but I just do a lot of YouTubing
There is a lot of
nowadays.
great kind of stuff still in magazines. Amazonas is really good as a magazine. Cichlid News is a great magazine.
Yeah.
Shoving me down the rabbit.
Used to do a lot more reading. I don't have the time that I used to, but on the boat I used to do a lot of reading. But now I got a phone, so I just watch YouTube.
So when did you see? Now let's go into a little bit of the topic that I was promised to talk to you about for a little bit. When did you see Marilyn Manson? Chubbs.
When did I see what?
Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson. Seen him in New Orleans at the Lakefront Arena. It was for the Coma White Tour.
Okay.
I saw him in 2012.
A friend of mine worked 2 tours as the lighting director of Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. very
tour.
off the wall like guy, like you would not believe, but very good at what he does.
Chat's
Yeah,
going
I got
insane.
to hang out with him and Twiggy and a couple of their managers. One of my best. Well, for that Kuma White tour, every show he would throw a Bible off of the stage,
Yep,
and most shows they would just shred it and it would just be litter across the floor.
yep.
Well, my best friend that I went there with, he actually caught the Bible and bear hugged it, hit the ground, and held onto it and kept it whole.
Wow.
And he got beat up doing it and broke 3 ribs, and they had to usher him off the floor.
Yeah.
And but at the hospital, when they took him to the hospital, Marilyn Manson and Twiggy showed up and signed it, and he still has that Bible.
Wow.
I think it's one of the only ones that ever survived the show.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I mean, man, it's got to be worth some money, right?
I'm pretty sure it probably is. He still has it. I seen it a couple months ago. I was talking to him on Facebook and asked him if he still had it. He said he did.
Yeah, like I said, I know the LD director that did a couple of shows for him, so I've had the pleasure of working with him. Like, he's our light man from the Black Symphony days, okay, where my friend, the 5-time instrumental guitar player of Canada, that it was his band. So
Yep.
my crew has always been good. Like, I was a stage monitor tech. So I've always worked with some pretty hot people, but Danny is an amazing light man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Aquaballs, I kind of agree with you on one note, but for this, it's more was a prop than a book to read on Jesus.
Exactly. Like, I'm not religious anymore, but I still, like, get the whole thing of a Bible is supposed to be like given to somebody. It's not supposed to be sold. Like, you shouldn't, sell God's word, if that's what you're, if that's what you believe. So I get where you're coming from.
So do I, Aquaballs. It's all a part of what I would call the religion kind of trip that rock and roll went through. And Marilyn pushed the button in a big way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he pushed a lot of people's buttons over his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was someone to draw to him, too.
Yep. Well, Kiss went through it first.
Oh, yeah. And then so did Ozzy,
Oh, Ozzy, like every rock band. Judas Priest, with the
just pushed the boundaries further and further.
Crap from that one trial. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, really? But that is like the extremes, okay? And like, I understand that side of it. The way that they came on with Kiss because the SS looks like German insignia. All of that was planned.
Oh yeah, that was all. They did that on purpose, just to tickle somebody's feather.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, bad publicity works just as well as good publicity.
Yeah.
Sometimes better.
It's the same thing some YouTubers do with clickbait. It's the same thing, just to get attention.
Yep.
No, I agree with Adele, though. That there's too much ink. It doesn't smoke well.
That's why they put extra pages in the back.
Yeah.
Whereas I
pages.
totally agree with the idea of makeup. That kind of thing. Like, everybody wanted to see Kiss without their makeup. I was saying, leave it on. You're clowns anyhow.
That's right.
You know, that was the whole point. They took off the makeup, big deal. You're still the same band.
Yep.
But everybody wanted to see them. I remember when they did that. I'm going, really? You guys are doing this now?
What came first, the orange or the
I
orange?
saw Kiss before their first album.
That's awesome.
Backing up Savoy Brown.
I saw Nelly before he got, big.
Oh, yeah.
Saw him at, one of the local shows here in St. Louis and stuff. And next thing you know, he's moving to LA, but he still lives in Ladue, or still has a house in Ladue.
But as far as all the fish I got, I think these are probably the rarest I have. Would be the African banded barbs. They're not too well seen on the. You don't see them too often.
So is marijuana legal in your state?
In Louisiana, no.
No, bummer.
It's medical in
It should be.
Missouri.
It's medical over here. It's getting to be medical, but it's not far.
It's
They already got
pretty easy to
dispensaries
get your
going
card
up,
here in
and,
Missouri too. So
We're
dispensaries
totally
going up, so it's not far
everybody
from it.
can have it
They're anticipating it.
up here in Canada.
oranges originated in Asia, in what is now called Southeast China. The sweet orange was a hybrid of multiple citruses, including the mandarin. So, what came first, the orange or the orange? The color came before the fruit, because the fruit is man-made.
Yep. That's why you have citrus trees that you have to transplant fruit onto.
And did you know that lemons are completely man-made too?
Yeah, they derive from a fruit that they found in Mexico, and they cultivated it.
Any kind of fruit trees down in Louisiana?
That was all brought here. There's no native fruit really that I know of.
What's grown down there?
Oh, pretty much anything you can find.
Okay.
Avocados, mangoes.
Those who
We got
grow up.
well, as far as we get blackberries. Those are pretty native, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got people, hundreds of years of people living in these shores, from the Spanish and the French, and then, on. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. Sometimes you run across a little patch of trees in the middle of the woods, and you can just tell that they were transplanted. Like they're not from here.
Now, Okanagan Lake has got its invasion of mice and shrimp, but we also have got lots of fruit in that area.
Yeah.
The Okanagan Valley is one of the best wine producing areas out there, actually. And it's getting bigger. They are
when life doesn't give you lemons, you make them.
Because alcohol sells more.
Yeah.
Grape alcohol sells more than apple alcohol.
Oh,
yeah. We get a lot of mulberry trees. I like those.
But I said on one of my streams, I think that in the United States, we used to make a lot of alcohol using like black currants and red currants and like gooseberries.
Mm-hmm.
But after like
What's up,
during
Bob?
Prohibition, basically all the growth of those types of fruits like completely stopped. And when Prohibition was ended, like they pretty much only started going back to like grapes. So a lot of these, old flavors that have continued to go in like Europe and stuff are like just now really coming back into the States. I just found myself a gooseberry shrub. I'm really excited to get that growing.
Yep. Yeah, we get a lot of blackberries down here. Blackberry cobbler and blackberry jam and even blackberry wine we make with it.
Yeah, I have thornless
Can I
blackberries.
advertise an upcoming stream, Chubbs?
What's that?
Can I advertise an upcoming stream?
Absolutely.
Bob Kaler and myself are going to be on TN Aqua's stream on Friday
Awesome.
Nice.
talking about Synodontus
Oh,
from Africa. And it will swing into the Congo where I have got some interesting thoughts of certain fish in the hobby.
Yep. Bob said 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
there's Bob. Hey, Bob.
And I am looking forward to the Codfather and myself being on that show.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a great stream. I'm gonna have to make sure I try to catch it.
Oh, yeah.
If I don't, I'll definitely catch the replay.
When did you say this was? What day?
Friday.
Friday.
At 8 p.m.
Oh, man.
Eastern time.
I'll have to catch the replay.
Yep. Because Bobby is an upcoming aquarist and
I hear you.
radio show host, and or YouTube host, and I like him. He's one of the Tennessee Mafia guys, like Chattanooga Ed,
Yep.
and Bob and Roe, and
Yeah, I like Bobby a lot.
people, right? Ginger Graves,
I
Tennessee.
think Bobby was in the very first stream that I hopped in on with Swampy Acres and stuff.
And if Bob did not have a chance to listen to Jess's stream, I mentioned Doug Gray, our friend. I also mentioned other friends on that stream that deserve a lot of credit. Putting together your own cichlid club like what King and Queen's cichlids did about 12 years ago is not an easy fact.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an easy feat because clubs have changed over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
The number of people in those clubs.
How big is that little face thing you got there?
This piece, it's a 1.5 gallons.
Okay.
Yep.
How many shrimp are in there? Just that one?
I have 3. This female and a wild type Neo and I think it's either yellow or orange Neo. But, this is one of the onyx ones that came out of my big tank. He's pretty cool.
Is that just sand?
Yeah, it's Mississippi River sand. That's it.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Just
Your
river
dwarf
sand.
sage looks really good.
The dwarf sage and
Is that spiralis?
Yeah, Crypt spiralis, and I got a Crypt luthra and a Crypt parva in there. Just
Nice.
one of each. Yeah, spiralis is doing real good. It died back a little bit when I first put it in here, but it's coming back with a vengeance. Fun dwarf sage does real good over there.
Yeah, I set up a little. I had an extra betta cup, and so I just put a little bit of sand in there. Actually added a couple pieces of Osmocote and shoved them down at the bottom, and then I got a bunch of little dwarf sage in it, and I just have it sitting in my windowsill.
Right. And one of the other things I got dwarf sage in is this one here. A mirror tank. It's got a mirror stand. You can see.
And another thing
What?
that is coming up, this is going to be on Marcos and my channel.
Awesome.
Okay. Marco, as you know, is a scuba diver who has scuba dived in Thailand in their marine environment and has also scuba dived in Lake Malawi.
That's awesome.
He owns an endangered IUCN Cares Fish. My little project covers endangered fish. And so we're basically going, okay, here's something for the United States to share with two people that are not natives of the United States.
First shots of this clown Plecos that I've gotten. They're really
nice.
tied. You see the little streamer on his tail.
Oh yeah, he looks
Yep,
good.
there you go, ducking off.
Nice Pleco.
We got
Oh,
some
yeah.
good-looking clown Plecos in store right now. I'm kind of surprised they're still there.
Two of them in here, but I haven't seen the other one. Here's one of the long fins that I've produced out of my 75 long fin albino.
That's right. That's right, Bob.
That's a really nice-looking albino.
Here we see the big ones.
Marco does rock.
It's almost
In a big
like
way.
cellophane.
Yep. Let's see. Let's see the big female right there. She got some really long fins.
Longfin albino.
And
Versus
I don't know if people know this or not, but Marco understands English quite well. He just does not want to speak English.
Mm-hmm.
But if he ever does, he said that he would love to be on a panel with me and another person. So if he ever does get up that nerve to let that happen, right? I'm in big time.
Right on.
Because I do believe that he's on the directorship. I know for a fact that he did some of the interviews with the specialist of West Africa from the aspect of cichlids. As far as I'm concerned, it is one of the areas of cichlid keeping that is not had a lot of attention to it because of importations. But Dan's Fish, Dan's Fish, who is my go-to guy when it comes to killifish, okay? Dan knows a lot about fish, but I know that he knows a lot about killifish, right? So does Tony Tertiary. But Tony's so hard to, like, you don't want to bother an older guy. Whereas you got Dan right there streaming every Wednesday, telling you about interesting rare fish that he can bring in to softer water climate.
Mm-hmm.
The Congo River is soft.
Yep.
And that's what I find really, really interesting about Dan is that he understands soft and hard water, but general type of aquarium keeping going. Yes, you can keep this, but you might not be able to breed it in your water.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, am I going to breed a killifish such as an Aphosimian in Rift Valley Lake water? No. It comes from West Africa. Whereas the Tanganyikan killifish would do very, very well in Calgary water.
So Roundhouse, you brought up, that Dan's prices have been going up. Well, I mean, one, there's the pandemic, and then two, he's been
Hey, Griffin,
doing more and adding more into his shipping process, his quarantine process, and all that as well, to where it's just costing more.
yeah,
Hey,
there's a
Griffin,
lot
how's
of
it
things
going?
going on in the business that is due to COVID.
Yep.
Yep.
Shipping prices have gone sky high.
Yeah.
Food prices.
Even though
Look at the price
now
of
it's
wood.
just like
The price
it's
of
like
wood is ridiculous.
Yeah.
over a year later now, things should be kind of getting better by now, I feel like, but I don't know.
Well, we export a lot of timber to the United States, and there are not a lot of people in our forestry department that are working in lumber right now.
Yeah.
Right.
So of course, stock goes up because there is the price of stock goes up because nobody's cutting.
Yep.
Luckily, we didn't have a
Start
hot
cutting
summer
again.
to have a lot of forest fires. And we had very little snowfall this year. So it's going to be rough this year, come summertime. One electrical storm and poof. Like, not many Americans probably know about Fort McMurray burning up because of an uncontrolled fire.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's like the price of glass went up, the price of wood went up. Nobody's working with glass anymore. Nobody's working with wood anymore. It's just like, let the economy return, man. Start working again. Start bringing those prices down. Let's do it.
That's right.
That's harder said than done. Want to know why?
The government.
No. BC has been hit by the third wave of the COVID virus. BC got hit really bad. The hockey team had to cancel a lot of the games. And like, we're all just staying in. Like, even if I wanted to go out, I wouldn't. I'm a vulnerable, they haven't even begun to give us our shots yet.
Yep.
So do I want to go out there and try to catch COVID? No, thank you. Even if I could. And it's hard for me. I got a broken hip, bad back, bad feet. It basically made me a cripple, right? So I don't want to die because of people not following rules and all of that sort of stuff. Like, it's ridiculous. And so until that
could have
comes,
always died before.
nobody's working.
Yep. It's hard for me to find a job right now. I'm going
I
on.
might get hit by a car
Hire you
tomorrow.
as my
You never know.
tugboat driver any day, man.
Yeah. I haven't had work in almost 4 months, 5 months. Getting rough.
Are there any like tourist kind of things where you can tour the bayou with like
Oh
on a
yeah, tourism's still banging down here.
okay.
They got swamp tours. You can take a, you go
Have
get
you
on
thought of
an
that?
actual airboat and go tour the swamp, see alligators and all the marsh and
Have you thought of
everything like
that
that.
kind of thing for a
What's
job?
that?
Have you thought of that kind of thing for a job? Being around the nature and the tourist that is interested in seeing the bayous?
Yeah, I've thought about it, but I mean, you got to be kind of in on the, that kind of crowd.
Right.
They usually hire their brothers and their cousins and their friends of their friends, and
Yeah,
if you're not if you're not part of the friends list, well then good luck.
yeah, yeah. I can see that to some degree.
But even without a job, I'm still building a 500-gallon pond in my backyard,
Yeah.
and just getting there, getting closer. So this bar, steel bar, square tubing. Well, it's not tubing; it's solid. That's gonna be my bottom support. That's gonna go across right here in the middle. It's 8 foot long, 4 foot wide, 3 foot tall, a little bit over 500 gallons. That's gonna be my bottom support. So that way this rectangle pond don't try to go around on me.
Yeah.
But it's coming
Getting
along.
work done on it.
Got it pretty much planked out. I want no spot to sliver up over there. Continue on, but this thing was built with all scrap wood. All the planks come off of pallets, and all the timbers was cut up from old big timbers. Just old wood. You can see how short the grain is. You can tell that's an old piece of wood.
Yeah, that is old.
Yeah, yeah, Rockford. This is only going across the bottom, and it'll be either bent or crimped or something like that, to where it don't probably bent, where it don't pull out. And then across the top right here, I might have a piece of stainless steel chain, probably 3/8. I think it's 3/8 all well chain that they use for trawling. I have that going across the top.
All right.
I'll show you all the thickness of the chain. It's some pretty heavy duty stainless steel chain. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's gonna be going across the top and probably corner braces too. Yeah,
That's a Flava Flav chain right there.
that's some heavy stuff.
Yeah, that is heavy.
Yeah.
That's like the chains that they use on the trucks up here to go through the winter.
Well, they use these on this chain come off of a double rigger, which
Yeah.
is a big trawl boat. And that's pretty much the tickle chain they call it. What it does is just drags across the bottom and makes the shrimp jump up off the bottom, and they catch them in the net.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be going across the top. No, it's not nickel. It's a stainless steel chain, Bob.
All right.
Yeah, a solid stainless steel.
Yeah,
Nickel plating would just get rubbed off on the sand, and then in salt water it would just rust all hell. So they use stainless steel.
yeah, the truckers use those chains on the highway to hell in the wintertime.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
was thinking.
The reason they
Roundhouse.
use the stainless steel chain on those kind of highways because all the salting that they do.
Oh yeah.
Stainless steel, they ain't gonna go nowhere.
No,
Yeah. You can't mix. nickel plated stuff with salt.
Well, I think I'm about to call it there. Been 2 hours on this one.
Thank you, Chubbs.
I appreciate you coming on, Chewy, and talking. I learned a lot, as always. Enjoy the
I
conversation.
appreciate you because of who you are, my friend. So,
Appreciate that.
you know,
Low key Ghost Rider.
Appreciate all my mods and everybody coming out and hanging out and bullshitting with us.
yep.
And
Thank you to those in chat and those lurking.
yeah. And hope y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Chubbs.
Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
Chewy. Later, Danny. Later, everybody in chat. Peace.